name is Ngugi. I'm a judge of the Court of Appeal and the chair of the National Steering Committee for the implementation of the AJS policy. We are very, very excited today because we've just launched the first of a kind, probably the first in Africa. Could be the first in the world, but at least we're sure of in Africa. The first autonomous AJS center that has been set up by Christian missions. This has been set up by the Nakuru Christian Leaders Platform. They came together where we trained them. They heard about the message of reconciliation of AJS and that everybody now is an agent of justice. So the Christian church came together and they decided that they were going to take this AJS mission, the AJS message to heart. And therefore they have now set up an AJS center where they can be using it as a place for reconciliation for families, for people who have disputes, for disputants, and so forth. So this is a very good example of the multi-door approach to justice that our Honorable Chief Justice has been talking about, that the Honorable Chief Justice has been preaching about, and also that the Bible talks about. The Bible talks about justice being the foremost mission of the church. And today, Nakuru Christian Leaders Platform have brought it to life. Here, they are going to be using it as a place where they will reconcile families, where they will resolve cases, cases that do not even need to go to court, but also cases that have gone to court and then have been referred to this place. So they'll be able to resolve pretty much all kinds of cases that are allowed by the law. That means cases where the parties themselves agree that they can be resolved outside the court. It also means only cases where they have not been, the law has not said they cannot be decided out of court. That means the majority of cases. It includes family law, it includes family cases, succession cases, it includes even criminal cases where the parties have agreed that they can be resolved outside court. The most important thing is for the parties to have agreed that they want to resolve it outside court. So we're looking forward to how this will function. We're seeing it as a precedent which will be used in other cities, in other places, in other counties in this country, and potentially AJS, and they reach a resolution to the case. It's pretty much binding on the two parties that have decided their case. If they have reached that resolution and then they have agreed to it, they have signed on it, if it later on goes to court, the court is bound to agree to what they have, as long as it's in keeping with the constitutional constraints. So the only thing that will make it not be binding is if it's, for example, in violation of human rights, or if it's violation of the constitution, or in violation of any written law. If it is not, if the two parties have agreed and it's in keeping with the law, then the courts are bound to adopt it and enforce it. Today, the Christian Leaders Forum here in Nakuru have shown us exactly where. Tomorrow, if you have a case that needs to be resolved in AJS, you can simply walk in Money Hall to the House of Reconciliation up here on the third floor. You register your case. They will be able to, they have mechanisms now, they can be able to call your adversary, the person you are disputing, and you can be able to have your case resolved right here. If you can also go to our court. We have an AJS suite also in the court. But when you go to court, you say, I do not want to file a normal case, an ordinary case. I want to file a case which involves AJS. I want my adversary to be summoned here so that we resolve it in the AJS. That's another way. You can also go to your church, that's your Christian church. You can go to your chief. You can go to your brother, your uncle. There are multiple ways in which you can resolve your case. Ever. The AJS, the Nakuru AJS Center, House of Reconciliation today has been announced that it's be completely free. 0 shillings. You can come and file your case here and it will be free. If you go to the AJS suite in our court, you can file a case, it will be free. Nothing is charged as a cost of filing. We've also been trained in the basics of natural justice, in the basics of what it means to give the, other people a hearing on the basics of the constitutions and so forth. These are the people who sit in this panel to hear these cases. Not meted at AJS include cases that involve children. defilement cases are obviously not allowed in AJS cases. So if there's a case that involves a child, because a child cannot consent to be in the AJS space, those will not be allowed in AJS. Cases generally take a day or two. That's it. Cases in court take 3 to 6 years. Cases in the AJS forum take, I would say, a maximum of 60 days for them to be cleared, to be resolved.
Okay.
And the important thing is, when a case is resolved in an AJS forum, it is truly resolved. In court, we don't resolve cases. We decide cases. We decide who was won, who was lost. We don't resolve. In an AJS forum, there is a true resolution.